Hello everyone and welcome to today's session on AWS API Gateway. Do you know friends that Amazon Web Services is an Amazon subsidiary that offers on-demand and cloud computing platforms and APIs to individuals, businesses and governments on pay-as-you-go model. So before we discuss today's agenda, do not forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon. First, we are going to discuss about what is AWS API Gateway. Then we will discuss about what is an API. Moving ahead, we are going to discuss about the architecture. Then we are going to learn about advantages of API Gateway. Moving ahead, we are going to learn about the core concepts, and at the end, we are going to discuss the prerequisites.
So let's start with what is an Amazon API Gateway. Amazon API Gateway is an AWS service that allows you to create, publish, maintain, and monitor and secure REST, HTTP, and WebSocket APIs at any scale. API developers can create an API that allows users to access AWS or other web services, as well as data stored in the AWS cloud. You can create APIs for use in your own client application as an API gateway or API developer. Alternatively, you could make your own APIs available to the third party app developers. API Gateway creates RESTful APIs that does the following and are based on HTTP, makes a stateless client-server communication possible, uses standard HTTP methods like GET, POST, PATCH, and DELETE. Now before we move further, let's understand what is an API. API stands for Application Programming Interface. It is a software intermediary that allows two applications to communicate with one another. What does an API look like? When you use a mobile phone application, it connects to the internet and sends data to the server. The server then retrieves that data and interprets it, takes the appropriate actions, and sends it back to your phone. The application then interprets that data and displays the information you requested in a readable format. This is what an API is, and everything happens through an API. Let me explain to you through an example. Assume that you are at a table in a restaurant with a menu of options to choose from. The kitchen is a system component that will prepare your order. What is missing in the critical link that allows you to communicate your order to the kitchen and have your food delivered to your table? This is where the waiter or the API comes into play. The waiter is the messenger or API who takes your request or order and relays it to the kitchen or the system. The waiter then returns the response to you, in this case, the food. Let's now discuss about the modern API. Over the years, the term API has frequently been used to refer any type of generic connectivity interface to an application. However, in the recent years, the modern API has acquired some characteristics that make them extremely valuable and useful. Modern APIs adhere to developer-friendly, easy accessible, and widely understood standards, typically HTTP and REST. They are treated as if they were products rather than code. They are designed for specific audiences, for example, mobile developers, and are also documented and are versioned so that users can have certain expectations of its maintenance and lifecycle. They have much stronger discipline for the security and governance, as well as being monitored and managed for performance and scale. They are much more than standardized. API Gateway manages all aspects of accepting and processing hundreds of thousands of concurrent API calls, such as traffic management, authorization and access control, monitoring, and API version management are some of the examples of these tasks. Now, let's discuss the AWS architecture. This diagram shows how the API you create in Amazon API Gateway provide an integrated and consistent developer experience for building AWS serverless application for you and your developer. API Gateway serves as a front door for applications to access data, business logic, or functionality from your backend services, such as Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, which is Amazon EC2 workloads, AWS Lambda code, or any web application or real time communication applications. Assume that we have users making API call to the API gateway. The API gateway invokes a Lambda function, which in then returns a response to the API gateway. When another user arrives and makes the same API call to the API gateway, we enable caching and time to live, which is called TTL. Assume that TTL is 60 seconds. As a result, the response is stuck in the API gateway for 60 seconds. You no longer need to call the Lambda function to serve another user's request because the response to the request has already been cached. We can get much easier and faster response from the end users this way. Now, let's discuss few of the advantages of the API gateway. Amazon API Gateway includes the following features. First, it is reasonably priced. Because an API gateway offers a tiered pricing model for the API requests, it is very low cost and efficient. The cost of an API request is as low as 1.51 per million requests. However, you can reduce cost by reducing the number of requests. Second, it is scalable. You do not need to be concerned about the EC2 services or auto-scaling groups responding to the API requests. An API gateway automatically scales. Next is throttling and caching. The most important feature of an API gateway is caching. Caching is used to cache the endpoint responses, which reduces the latency of the API request. It is also a major factor in determining the cost of the service. You can also protect your API gateway from security threats. To prevent flooding with fraudulent API calls, the API gateway configure a throttle service that can throttle requests to prevent attacks. Next, it is flexible. You do not need to launch an EC2 instance or install the gateway software to use the API gateway. API gateway can be set up in a matter of minutes using the AWS Management Console. Next, connecting CloudWatch. The CloudWatch service, which is also a monitoring service, is an integrated with an Amazon API gateway. This tool is used to track metrics such as incoming API calls, latency, and errors. Next advantage, which I'm going to discuss, is about security. You can grant access to your API. API gateway validates incoming requests by executing various authorization options such as Lambda function and identity access management service. An IAM is linked to the gateway, which provides tools like AWS credentials, access and secret keys to the API, a Lambda function which is used to validate tokens, and if the tokens are validated successfully, access is granted to the API. Now, we will discuss some of the core concepts. Now let me recap you what is exactly an API gateway is. API Gateway, as I have told you earlier, is an AWS service that provides the following features such as creating, deploying, and managing RESTful APIs to expose backend HTTP endpoints, AWS Lambda functions, or other AWS services. Developing, deploying, and maintaining a WebSocket API for exposing AWS Lambda function or other AWS services, which you can also do it. And also, you can use it the front end HTTP and WebSocket endpoints to invoke and expose API methods. Now, let's discuss about the gateway for API for HTTP. A set of routes and methods that work with backend HTTP endpoints or Lambda function. This collection can be deployed in one or more stages. Each route can expose one or more API methods with API gateway supported HTTP verbs. Next is we have API Gateway for REST API, a set of HTTP resources and methods that can be used in conjunction with backend HTTP endpoints such as Lambda function or other AWS services. This collection can be deployed in one or more stages. API resources are typically organized in a resource tree based on application logic. Each API resource can expose one or more API methods with the API gateway supported HTTP verbs. Next, we have API Gateway for WebSockets, a set of WebSocket routes and route keys that are used in conjunction with the backend HTTP endpoints, Lambda function, or other AWS services. This collection can be deployed in one or more stages. API methods are called using front-end WebSocket connections that can be linked to a registered custom domain name. Then we have template for mapping, a velocity template language or VTL script that converts a request body from front-end data format to a back-end data format, or a response body from a back-end data format to a front-end data format. Mapping templates can be included in either of the integration request or the integration response. They can make the use of runtime data such as context and stage variables. Next, we have request for method. The API Gateway public interface for an API method that defines the parameters and the body that an app developer must send in requests to access the backend via the API. Next, we have response method, a REST API public interface that defines the status code, headers, and the body models that an app developer should expect in the API responses. Then, if we talk about one of the core concepts is model. The data structure of a request or response payload is specified by a data schema. A model is required to generate a strongly typed API SDK. It is also employed in a validation of payloads. A model is useful for creating a sample mapping template that will be used to start the creation of a production mapping template. A model, while useful, is not required to create a mapping template. Assume that we have users making an API call to the API gateway. The API gateway invokes the Lambda function, and then it will turn in response to the API gateway. Now let's see what are the prerequisites. First, you need an AWS account, which is required to use the API gateway and other AWS services. If you don't already have an account, go to the aws.amazon.com and select Create an AWS account. As a best practice, create an AWS identity access management user administrator privileges. Use it for any work that does not require the root credentials. Create a password and access keys for console access and command line tools. Instructions can be found in the IAM user guide under creating your first IAM admin and user group. That was all for today's session. I hope so you would have got some idea regarding AWS API Gateway.
Just a quick info, guys. If you want to make a career in cloud computing, then Intellipaat provides an advanced certification on cloud and DevOps by IIT Madras. This course is taught by industry experts and IIT Madras faculty. This course is designed to upskill and land your dream job.